Hey, what's up everybody? I'm Landan with LMR.com. In this video, we're gonna be showing you the process of how to change the oil in your 1999 to 2004 second generation Ford Lightning. I know by now a lot of us probably know how to change the oil, so this will just be some good watchable content for those of you that wanna watch it. For those of you that do need the help and you need the value from learning, how to change your oil in one of these trucks, this video will do that. What we have here, this is the current oil change kit that we sell here on the site. It's gonna give us 6 quarts of semi-synthetic 5W20 Motorcraft oil and 1 FL820S oil filter. Now I know your 99, 2000, 2001 guys are probably wondering, since your SVT supplement book called for 5W30, 2003, 2004 supplement books called for 5W20. Well, there was a TSB, I think January 21st of 2002, indicating from Ford that basically a certain vehicle, Mercury, Lincoln, and Fords within a given umbrella that ran 5W30 were certified to run 5W20. So that's what we've included in our oil change kit forever. There's a quick history kind of on the oil viscosity. So we're gonna go ahead and get this on the lift. Just be mindful, since these trucks have the side exit exhaust on the passenger side, you're just gonna have to manipulate your lift arm if you're gonna be using the lift. If you're working off the ground, jack stands, just make sure you probably support the weight of the truck with some good quality jack stands. That way you don't hurt yourself. So we'll go ahead and get this thing on the lift. I believe this is that's a Service Champ filter. I think that's a 16 mil. All right, so your drain plugs on the second gen Lightnings facing towards the passenger side, and it's a 16 millimeter wrenching size. I just use a combination wrench. The box inside, you can use a socket wrench if you want, whatever floats your boat. God dang. And this is why we don't use impacts, people. All right, as you loosen, it's gonna start to drip. It's usually when the socket wrench becomes handy. All right, we're back with the socket wrench. Got our drain pan positioned underneath. Won't take long, it's only 6 quarts. While that's draining, we'll take our drain plug. I like to use a microfiber towel, like y'all have seen me do in all of our other videos. I don't like paper towels, I don't like shop rags. They're just too linty for me. But what we wanna do, we just wanna wipe this clean, then you wanna inspect that rubber gasket. This one looks pretty good. It was sealing just fine, but if you find that yours is missing, you would probably notice it long before now, since there would be oil running out of the oil pan from this area. But if you maybe see some dry rotting or some cracks, or you feel like it may just need to be replaced, you can just replace the whole drain plug. Just wanna let your oil drain till it slows to a drip. You don't have to really micromanage it too much if you don't want to. Now that's draining. We can at least get a head start on our oil filter. There's no markings. I don't think it was put on with a tool, but you can see some residue. So it's gonna kind of skew our grip a little bit. So you may have to just wipe that clean with a towel and some brake clean. That way you can get a bite on it or get a grip on it. It's pretty tight. You may have to get up in here with like a oil filter wrench. Ah, dang. Tweak. I'm tightening it. Well, don't do that. And we'll just loosen it enough to when we're ready to move our drain pan. Lefty loosey, righty tighty. Happens to the best of us. We can go ahead and put our drain plug back in. So I'm gonna thread, you always wanna thread these by hand first. Just before the gasket stops, kind of wipe up a little bit of the oil, and then we'll just run it down because the gasket will kind of push the rest of that oil out. We'll move our drain pan and bucket, and then we can wipe up that area. Good brake clean. Drain plug's tight. Now we'll jump over here to the oil filter. Cool thing about these trucks is the filter is straight down. So we don't need any cardboard or foil or form a funnel or anything like that. I think Clint said this had like 150 miles on his oil. You can definitely see that with the white background there with the oil filter. See how the goldeny hue is. We'll let this drain out till it kind of slows to a drip, and then we can pull it the rest of the way off. I'm tired of waiting, there we go. Raise this back up to prevent splatter. All right, we'll go ahead and let that do its thing. It may take a few minutes. I don't like to make a mess, especially in this area. We have gravity against us, obviously. So I usually let this slow to a pretty slow drip. That way I can kind of clean up, you know, the outside area here, our oil filter adapter, get all that nice and clean. We'll pre-soak our filter media, do all that good stuff, and reinstall the new filter. All right, so it's always good. You know, you can just kind of blow your filter out, maybe give it a little shot of compressed air. Just, you know, if there's any foreign material or anything like that, you know, you can kind of flush it out. But we'll make sure our new seal's clean, and then we'll pour some oil into this. Cool thing is, since it's straight up, we can pour a little bit more in it and get a little bit more pre-soak. Take a little bit of oil on your finger and lightly lubricate the new gasket. I'm gonna go ahead and take some brake clean on a paper towel, and we're just gonna wipe the outside area of this oil filter adapter. Get it all nice and clean. Like I said, this is a little overkill. I'm a clean freak. Those of you that watch our videos, y'all know this. I spend more time cleaning stuff than I do driving the cars or working on the cars, it seems like. That's okay. It's more or less a peace of mind, I guess, knowing that it's all nice and fresh and clean. Plus too, I was taught at a young age, you know, this stuff's your autograph. You know, if you want your name attached to it, you want it to be crappy, you want it to be good. All right, so off camera, we just did a little bit of cleaning up there on our oil filter adapter. So what I like to do, I like to have a microfiber towel ready. I'll move my drain pan as soon as the last drip happens, soak up any of this outside oil, and then thread on my new filter. Run it down, and then basically, this has a torque spec, I think, of 10 to 12 pound-feet, but I usually just go with one hand until it's snug. If you'd like, you can go just a little further with your two hands, and that should get you around the 10 to 12 pound-feet mark. Another thing to look out for is on your old oil filter, make sure the rubber gasket doesn't stay behind. If it does, you'll want to remove that from your oil filter adapter. It's rare, but it can happen. You just don't want to double stack the gasket. All right, we'll go ahead and lower this down, fill it up with oil, and sign off. All right, we'll open up our hood. All right, I always like to take a fender mat just in case. You know, that way if I accidentally brush up against the fender, don't scratch my paint all to heck. Your oil fill cap and location is on the passenger side valve cover. And I would recommend a wide mouth funnel if you have one. Go ahead and position your funnel into place. Now we can go ahead and fill it up with oil. 1. Number 3. Number 4. Number 5. Doing that makes it look like I got the shakes. All right, number 6. All right, have your towel ready. That way you can position it underneath your funnel so you don't get any drips or anything like that. And then once you set it aside, just make sure your filler neck and your filler cap, they're nice and clean. Looks like Clint recently replaced his because it looks brand new. So we'll retighten this and we'll make it sure it aligns with the front of the truck. So turn it till it's even. All right, now we'll go ahead and start it up. We'll get a little operating temp in it, nothing too crazy, and then we'll check our oil level. All right, I got our fender mat moved to this side so I can lean on the fender without scratching it. I went ahead and started the truck, let it run for a few minutes just to get some temperature in the oil. So now what we'll do, we'll check it on our dipstick. What you want to do, you want to pull it all the way out. We'll wipe it, stick it back in. Kind of dark down here. You'll go back in, and this is when we'll check it. So be careful with your towel, don't go all the way to the end. And then we'll look at this crosshatch pattern. All right, folks, so that concludes the oil change on a 1999 to 2004 second gen Ford Lightning. Again, 5W20 oil, FL820S oil filter. That's the Motorcraft part number. And of course, you know, I'll link the oil change kit in the description. That's available on our website. Torque specs, I mentioned the oil filter at around 10 to 12 pound-feet, and then the drain plug was 8 to 12 pound-feet. So if you found value in this video, go ahead and like it. Subscribe to our channel and turn on notifications. That way you're notified every time we release something new. And until we catch you in the next one, y'all know what to do for all things second generation Lightning. Keep it right here with the Real Enthusiasts, LMR.com.